What's going on? This is Dr. Rhadi, Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, 4-time national judo champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and head instructor at Tampa, Florida Judo. Today I'm on the phone with Sensei Jay Foster. Sensei Jay Foster is not only one of the top attorneys in the country, but the top attorney in his area in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. He is also the owner of Foster's Martial Arts. Jay Foster, how are you?
Good. How are you, Sensei Ferguson?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, man. We've had some people at tournaments come up to us and ask us about the stiff arm. Now, I'll be honest with you. Unfortunately, because I have been trained by the people I've been trained by and I know what I know, I don't even look at the stiff arm as being a problem, and I don't really know exactly what the stiff arm is. When people ask me how to beat the stiff arm, I don't even know what they're talking about. Because, unfortunately, people who understand grip fighting at the international level, they don't really deal with that as a problem because through the process of growth and development, they've learned ways around that particular thing so that it's no longer a problem. Because when you're competing at that level, your job and the job of your coaches and staff is to find the solution for problems, not bring problems to you. But I do believe that I have the answer, and I know that Sensei Foster has the answer. But I need to know, what in the hell is the question? What is this stiff arm issue that people are talking about?
And that is what, because at your level, you're so high up and on literally a different level. And that's not where most people are. They're down where I was. And I think, I may have mentioned this to you before, when I was searching to find you, before I even knew I was searching to find you, I was searching to find on the internet somebody, anybody, and searching the country to find the best coach in the country. And that's when I ended up finding you. And I was looking and searching and would look sometimes for judo stiff arms because that was the biggest problem. I couldn't, and this was just for me, just back when I was training. I couldn't, because I can tell you, Ipansonagi was one of the throws I like to throw. And I'm not going to say his name, but I asked one of my instructors, how do you get past the stiff arm? And the answer is so ridiculous, I don't even want to say, because it doesn't work. Any event, it was just so silly now, and I look at it and I just go, how could I be so stupid and ignorant? But you can watch judo videos over and over and over, and you don't know what's happening on them. You don't have any clue. And that stiff arm, I'd try to turn. The guy's got his left arm right in my shoulder, and I'm a righty, and I'm trying to turn to my left and trying to throw right, of course, with Ipansonagi. My left hand's on either the lapel or the sleeve, and I'm trying to throw Ipansonagi, and I can't turn because his arm is in my shoulder.
So here's the problem. The way that I was taught by Eddie Liddy and the way I was taught by Jimmy Pedro and the way that I learned grip fighting, right versus right, we don't even pay attention to that person's left arm.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't.
That concept, is so foreign.
So we don't even pay attention to it. Yeah, it doesn't. That's not even part of the. It's not an issue in the sequence. Like, you don't even. Your job, right versus right. Your whole goal in life, okay, is to kill that sleeve and put that sleeve in the pocket.
And here's what they don't understand. That's great you're saying that. People still aren't getting it. I get it now because
they don't know. They don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
They don't have any idea because you're talking above their head. And I can tell you right now, if I were listening to this back where I were years and years ago before I met you, I would say, what are you talking about killing the sleeve? And put it in the pocket. Whose pocket?
Sure.
My pocket? What pocket? There's no pocket on the gi. What are you talking about? This guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's saying. What? I mean, that's what I would be saying to myself.
Okay, well, let's do this for the people who are listening. Let's cover this because we can't cover all the scenarios because, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, it is right now 12:30 a.m. my time. 11:30 your time, Jay?
11:30 my time, yes.
Right, and this is the time that I'm usually on the phone. I was on the phone the other night at I think like 2 o'clock in the morning doing a consult with the Bahamas Judo Federation when they were in they were in Tokyo. So this is what my nights are like judo, and this is what I tell people. I said, I do judo full time. It's not some part time gig that I do, and I go in the dojo and do 2 hours and then leave. So, right versus right. Can't cover everything. Right versus right. My right foot is forward. My opponent's right foot is forward. My job is to stop the side that rotates on my opponent most of the time. That's my opponent's right side that's turning. His right side rotates toward the left in a counterclockwise motion. So I need to take
Ferguson.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sorry, if I could just stop you right there, because, again, I don't think people understand that a righty in judo, I know people don't understand that a righty in judo is supposed to stand with their right foot forward, because righties...
I got so many people that they're standing left and right and switching their feet when they go, because they've been taught to just do it, it's open. So right now it's open. And I have no problem with people throwing lefty and righty. But you can't switch your feet lefty and righty while you're gripping, because when you fight somebody good, as soon as you switch, they will throw you immediately. I mean, it's an immediate reaction. Most people don't see that because they don't compete at that level. They compete at a level where there's a lot of randomness and there's a lot of variance. So they're just concerned about somebody throwing. And when they throw somebody, they say, "Hey man, great throw."
Right. Right. Great Kazuki.
This is not funny, Jay.
It's not, because it's so frustrating for me, and what part of the reason I like doing these calls with you is because there are other people out there like me that spent most of their lives training the wrong way. And I can only tell you, if you're listening to this, good gracious almighty, whatever you do, if you can't get to Tampa, go buy every DVD he's got. I mean, go watch every video he's put out. He's put out tons of free information. Holy moly, and your judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu game will improve immensely. But I'm sorry I interrupted. I just wanted to make sure, because, again, sometimes you're on such a high level, people don't understand that their right foot should be forward. They have no clue what you're saying. They don't have any idea.
Okay. Right versus right. I need to stop my opponent's right shoulder, his right side. I can do this various ways. I can't go over every gripping sequence. I'm just going to go over the basic one for you and cover the stiff arm. Let's say I shoot my left hand forward to the shoulder. My opponent also shoots their left hand forward to my right shoulder. Now we are deadlocked in like a 50-50 situation, and that left arm of my opponent is stiff-arming me. It's not allowing me to rotate or turn. I don't know what the issue or problem is, because we still don't attack that arm, okay? That arm is not the one we're looking for. We are still, the way that most of us are taught, we're still taught to hunt for our opponent's right arm, and there's several ways to do that. However, for those individuals who want to throw off of the left hand on the lapel, you do a ponsel nagi. Somebody saying, well, how the hell do I do a ponsel nagi if I'm stiff-armed and I can't get my arm to the shoulder? Well, what you do is basically like a ponsel nagi prime. So you take the person's right shoulder, like your left hand is on their right shoulder. What you do is you act like their shoulder is now in the front of your left shoulder. So you take their right shoulder and act like it's in the front. It's all the way in the front of your right shoulder. And what you do is, instead of looking to hook your right arm underneath the shoulder, you take your right arm and you sweep it right underneath their wrist, okay? And your left shoulder brings your right shoulder and your left shoulder kind of collapse together, meaning your right shoulder comes in for seoi-nage, your left shoulder goes back, and you trap their wrist, and you act like their wrist is the shoulder at which you're doing seoi-nage. You have to do this move slow, because you'll hurt your partner's wrist when you do it. So what you try to do is you try to go over the back with your right hand once, try to go over twice, and then stiff arming you, and then you fake like you're going over, and your hand sweeps under right by the wrist, and then you do the Selmagi. If you don't understand what I'm saying, I will shoot a video for you tomorrow, and you can watch the video. Do you understand what I'm saying, Jay?
I understand completely. I can tell you there is a guy out there right now listening to this, and he is totally clueless with what you're talking about.
Not only that, he or she probably thinks I'm an idiot.
They do, because they think you have absolutely no clue. I'm telling you. Because
what are you talking about? You can do Selnagi if I imagine that their shoulder is by my shoulder. What type of Selnagi is that? Exactly. Right. I understand. Understood, buddy. Understood. Well, I will shoot the video of the stiff arm when I get an opportunity.
And I just want to add in, because I looked at some of the stuff on the internet about supposed quality instruction on stiff arming. It is horrible. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
The one thing that you have never heard me do, okay? You've never heard me tear down anybody's grip fighting videos online. If you ever noticed that, Jay, I've never done that. I don't do that publicly. And the reason why I don't do it is because everybody's in a certain place or space, and what they're teaching, although it may be wrong at the higher level, it may be correct at that lower level. Now, it may put you on a trajectory where you cannot win at the higher level, but most people are not on the trajectory to compete at the higher levels. So what you do is you leave those people alone and allow them to enjoy recreational judo. Your job is not to go in there and berate them and tell them they're not doing things right and they're not good or that their instructor isn't good. Listen, sometimes what makes a great instructor is a guy that swings by your house on Friday night, picks up your kids, and takes everybody to the movies. Sometimes a good instructor is somebody that has judo practice in their area where there wouldn't normally be judo. Sometimes a good instructor, man, is a guy that calls the principal or the teacher to check up on one of the kids that comes from a single parent home or sometimes from a home that has hardship, to check up on the kid to make sure they're doing good in school. And there's a lot of things that make a good judo instructor. And it's not all about technique. It's not all about winning. And it's not always about instruction. Sometimes it's just about being there. And I appreciate every grassroots judo coach, because I am one too. I appreciate every one of them that is there, because we need people there. I will also say, however, when you are online searching for information, just understand that most of the information that you're searching for is free. And the shoes that you have on aren't free. The socks that you have on aren't free. The undergarments aren't free. The deodorant that you put on isn't free. And most of the things that you have in life that are worth something are not free. And if you don't pay for the information, sometimes you really don't have a clue of how good that information is or isn't. And you want to make sure before you take in that information that information comes from a quality vetted source. Ask questions. You don't have to berate anybody or belittle anybody. Just ask questions to other people in the judo community or the martial arts community of where can I go to get quality instruction about X, Y, and Z. They'll tell you, and they'll be honest with you. When it comes to grip fighting, I am the best grip fighting instructor, in my opinion, definitely in North America. I haven't judged myself against everybody else in the world. But grip fighting instructor, that doesn't mean I'm the best grip fighter, but grip fighting instructor, not grip fighting teacher. Grip fighting instructor, one who can teach and facilitate the process of learning grip fighting in various environments, not just judo, not just jiu-jitsu, not just wrestling, not just MMA, but various environments, sambo as well, and to understand the rule sets in all the different sports. And there's nobody better than me.
I will agree with that 110%. There's just no question. The level of grip fighting, your level is so high, it is so complicated and so hard to understand that you've got to dumb it down, and people got to get the basics down first before they can get to the level you're at.
Right.
That's what has to happen.
And you got to know how to teach. My ability to teach allows my students to learn faster.
Yes, it's definitely, you have a PhD in grip fighting. There's no doubt. And frankly, your educational level is what helps you, I think, in my opinion anyways, know how to teach people.
Right.
That's what I think.
Correct.
That's what I think is extremely important, because quite honestly, I sucked as a coach until I met you. I was horrible. I didn't have any idea how to actually coach somebody. I had no clue. I was stupid and ignorant.
Well, it's because coaches need to start out as trainers first. Like when I first started writing the curriculum for your program, you were just a trainer. I wrote the curriculum, I taught you how to put it in place, and you trained. You trained the kids. And as you train and you start understanding the coaching cues and what to say and what not to say and what to say and understand the timing of things and look at the developmental process, you then understand how, and then you teach the moves, and you go from a trainer to a teacher, to a facilitator of the educational process. And then when you move from that, then you move to a coach. So you got the coaching part was when we started talking about how do we handle travel, how do we handle the weigh-ins, how do we handle the eating, how do we handle the rest environment, how do we handle what happens before and after the tournament, how do we manage the emotions of the athlete. That part, that is the coaching part. That you don't learn that the first day you line up and call yourself sensei, whatever you want to call yourself. But I told people I called myself a coach first before I called myself a sensei. I believe that now I'm at the beginning stages of being a sensei at the age of 40. And you can see how I've evolved over time because I don't compete anymore, where you become a little bit more loving, a little bit more caring, a little bit more economical with your words and careful with what you say, because you move from just the trainer, because you start as an athlete. Most people like me as an athlete, and then you're an athlete / coach, but you're not even a coach. You just call yourself that. You're really just a trainer. You're doing what you learned when you were competing, and then you move from that. And you begin to teach. But you're just teaching moves. You don't really you're not really teaching the system yet, because you don't really. Well, I do mine because I put mine together when I started, because I came from engineering, and system dynamics background, et cetera, and I understand choice architecture and decision engineering and how to meld the two together. That was me, because judo is based upon choice architecture. There's a rule set that creates choices for you to make, and then you are the decision engineer. But you got to read books by Daniel Kahneman and Thinking Fast and Slow and game theory books, and that's another discussion outside of the stiff arm, ladies and gentlemen, because winning at judo doesn't have anything to do with judo. And I know I shouldn't have said that, Jay, because I probably have everybody confused now.
Yes. Now they're all going, oh my God, this guy is a total idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
But he just said in order to win at judo, you don't need to know judo.
Right. They're going, oh my God, this guy's totally crazy. He doesn't know. But I said this to you, I think, before, and I say it again. Everybody that's listening to this, all the guys, girls, moms, dads, parents listening to this, you need to go watch The Matrix. And you need to know that you are Neo. And you have a choice to take the red pill or the blue pill. And that choice is going to change what you're going to do.
Right.
It's that simple. And it's so revealing, it's so incredible, it's so unbelievable. It is like The Matrix. It really is. It's like The Matrix. It's so hard to comprehend and understand. So when you say something like that, people are going, oh, they're rolling their eyes and going, oh, come on, man, what is he talking about? But I understand what you're saying, because I've been around you enough and I've learned enough now. And obviously I'm not near your level, but I understand the concepts of what you're saying. And that's just, but the average judo player is going, what is he talking about? The average coach, even the coaches out there, God almighty coaches, please do yourself a favor. Just go watch the stuff he gives for free out if you do nothing else. But if you want the real inside deal, it is going to cost. It's no different than, anything in life. You don't walk in Walmart and they let you walk out with stuff for free. You got to pay. You got to pay.
Oh, boy. They'll let you just roll out the Walmart in the cart, huh?
Exactly, except the difference in Walmart is everybody can go there, but not everybody can shop at Saks Fifth Avenue. And when you're shopping with Sensei Ferguson, you're at Saks. It's just so simple. I mean, it's just a different level, completely, totally different level. It's just incredible. And I can't say enough about how happy I am that I met you, honestly. It's just been an incredible ride. And I will say this, too, because when you're talking about coaching, you mentioned about coaching and what's made me a better coach, it's not just the stuff you do on the mat. It's the stuff you do off the mat that is just as important as what is happening on the mat.
More so. More
it's
so.
Incredible.
Yeah, we've had more breakthroughs on the mat by the stuff that we've done off the mat.
Yes. I mean, the teaching level at this level, it's just incredible. And that's why I said I think your education behind you, that engineering degree, the master's degree, the PhD, all that stuff, I think that is what's enabled you to become an incredible teacher. And that's what you really are, as an incredible teacher. And, we all know growing up, you had some good teachers and you had some bad teachers. We know who they are. And, the ones who study, the ones who keep up, and the ones who do what it is you're doing, they're just on a different level. And those are the teachers you don't forget.
No, I appreciate you saying that, man. I try to do the best I can with what I have. I really do. I want to provide people that which I didn't have. There's some things I just didn't have. Just like you want to do with your kids. You want to give them stuff that you just didn't have.
And for people that don't. People that don't know me, I'm about 5 foot nothing, $105. I took an absolute beating most of my career. I still have pain from the beatings that I took because all the big dudes, of course, would smash me into the ground. I had no clue what I was doing for years and years and years, and I didn't want my kids to take that beating in judo. I just didn't. And that's why I spent, I think I told you this before, I think I spent 40-plus hours looking. And then I spent hours and hours watching your stuff, buying your stuff, and then I started going to seminars and private coaching lessons and private lessons on BJJ and judo and all this stuff. And it was just, that's what I started doing, and gradually going up and up and up and up and up and moving up the ladder and moving up the success ladder on the mat, but not just on the mat, off the mat as well, man. I mean, it's enabled my kids to get straight A's. It's enabled my kids to get straight A's. And that's what I mean about coaching. What we're doing off the mat is just as important. It's just as important because we're raising not just kids who are going to be good at martial arts, but who are going to be good, smart, and have something to fall back on in the future.
Right. I had one person that came over for a consult, and he said, "What do you think my daughter needs?" I said, to be honest with you, she needs more math. He said, math? I said, yes, math. He said, how do you, math it's a language. I said, judo is a math problem. That's all it is. So it's a big math problem. I said, what do you mean it's a math problem? It's a math problem. I said, listen, it's based upon time. There's time in a judo match. There's a score in a judo match. There's the understanding of ebb and flow and how the wave is sinusoidal in terms of the emotions, how it goes up and down. It's all math. It's math. That's all it is. It's like when they asked Greg Jackson about Holly Holm beating Ronda Rousey. He said it's just a math problem. And that's what it is. It's just a math problem. There's two arms, there's two legs, there's an opponent, there's time, there's a referee, there's a jury, there's a clock. It's a math problem. That's all it is. The stiff arm. The stiff arm is not the stiff arm. The stiff arm is what you call it. The stiff arm is just one variable in the problem. There are 4 arms. There's 4 arms. You need to find out which variable is the most important one out of all of them. The thing about the stiff arm is that the stiff arm is fooling you, making you believe that that's the thing that's stopping you from throwing.
Oh my God, that's so true.
What's stopping you from throwing is not the stiff arm. What's stopping you from throwing is you don't have the knowledge to get around the stiff arm.
And he doesn't mean physically around. Don't think he's trying to tell you to go around the circle or something crazy, because some people might think that.
No.
That is so true what you just said. I mean, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly right.
It's not the stiff arm at all. The stiff arm has nothing to do with anything.
And people are listening going, what is he talking about? I'm telling you, because that was me before I met you. That was me. What is he talking about? Oh my God. There are secrets in every industry, in everything. There are secrets.
Yeah, people don't believe that. But I don't even look at the beating the stiff arm as being a secret or something. Like I wouldn't tell you. Like I just can't tell you all the ways to beat it over the phone. And I will tell you this. I will be honest with you. I am not going to tell you every way to beat it in video either. I will show you a technique or two. But my grip fighting seminars for the day range anywhere, depending on how long I'm gonna do it, or what I'm going over, from anywhere from $297 to $1497. And he's like, that's too much money. Too much money for who? Too much money for who?
I'll give you an example. If you just go to one Junior Olympics or one U.S. Open, you've made just about that investment.
Oh, my gosh. And then
so by the time you pay the hotel, the flight, the food, the entry fee, and you get pounded off a mat in one match, I mean, you paid for it.
You paid for it. You may as well spend the money appropriately by getting the information that you need and stop fighting and thinking that you know already. Because one thing I've seen, man, online is like, ooh. I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen is, ooh. I can tell you. I'll tell you one way right now to beat the stiff arm. One way right now to beat the stiff arm. And my man David Camarillo was famous at this. Flying arm bar.
Very true.
It's a low percentage move, but the thing about the percentage of the success percentage of a move is based upon the reps you put behind it. See, I'm giving away a lot right now. It's almost time for me to stop.
I will add one other thing. It's not a secret to you, the stiff arm, because you're on a different level. You're on a different planet. It's like planet Rhadi Ferguson. Everybody else is on planet Earth. And it's a big secret. So before I met you, I would say it was a huge secret. It was one of the problems, one of the riddles that I could not solve, and neither could any of my coaches that I asked. They could not tell me. So it was a huge riddle to me. I did not understand it. And I'm not stupid. I'm a smart dude. I went to Tulane University, so I'm not dumb. And I could not figure it out. And I would ask and drive my coaches crazy, and they couldn't tell me. Now, they did tell me some baloney that didn't work. And I'm not going to say what it was. Like I said, it's too silly to even say. It doesn't even make sense. But so it was a huge secret. It is a huge secret. And that is a secret because I didn't know it. It was a secret to me. Huge.
Right.
As in Mount Olympus secret.
Well, I tell you what, I appreciate your time. I hope we help answer some of the issues and questions about the stiff arm. I will definitely put a video up about it tomorrow to just go over it, the one fix that I talked about, just to help some of you guys combat the stiff arm. But there's some golden nuggets in this that I hope you got. For sure. Yeah, Sensei Foster, thanks so much for your time. What were you getting ready to say?
I was going to say there definitely is. You gave away a lot just in this call. They may not realize, but holy moly, that was a lot.
Right. In terms of the stiff arm, for sure.
Yes.
Sure. For sure. All right, man. Well, thanks so much, man, and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Sensei.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.